Woman Fire Officer Mavis White Archibald with your safety tip for today. Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? During a fire, early warning from a working smoke alarm plus a fire escape plan that has been practiced regularly can save lives.
This message was brought to you by ZIZ and the St. Kitts Nevis Fire Department.
All right, welcome back to the show. A number of activities going on right now. We have wellness fair. We got fitness activities. We're gonna touch as much as we can this morning. But first thing first, good morning to you, Mr. Hodge, once again.
All right, good morning, GQ, and good morning to our listening audience. It's always a pleasure to be here on ZIZ Radio. Today, as GQ said, the fire department have a lot going on still surrounding its 25th anniversary and our year-long celebrations. So, not to the upcoming, but what we have ongoing, we still have our school visits ongoing, where we are trying to touch all of the primary schools and high schools in the Federation doing fire prevention. Mr. Pablo Gomes, the head of the fire prevention team, is well in tune with what we are doing. He's out there, he's a part of. We had Mr. Tito Razman, the sergeant in charge of the airport. He came on board as well, along with Mr. David Keynes, Miss Shanna White, the coordinator. So she plays an integral role in what is going on. Miss Tuvia Griffin, Miss Ranesta Samuels. This person often goes out to the school along with myself and, Mr. Phipps. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody. Or Miss Stevens, our clerk. Yes, she does a very good job in producing all of the posters that we put out for the 25th anniversary. And she goes above and beyond what is there to do. Miss Macho, our secretary, Miss Bat, I should not have started naming persons because I got to run myself in problems, I know. I got to run myself in problems. But in case I miss anybody, some of these people, they play key roles in what we do on a daily. So we have covered most of the schools already. Yesterday we were at the Kean High, and the children welcome us. They had a very good time. Sadly, we were not able to walk with Sparky yesterday. But I mean, it's a high school. Most of the primary school children near Champel Sparky on some occasions. Yes,
that's the mascot, right?
Yes. So we've been having fun time with the children, and while having fun, we have been educating them on the do's and don'ts when it comes to fires and the use of the fire extinguisher as well. So the fire department is out there. We are trying to keep a safe federation, and note I said federation,
yes,
because our school drive would be well underway after the Easter vacation for the Nevis end of the Federation.
Gotcha.
Approval have been given from the Ministry of Education over there. A schedule is out, because what we're trying to do is everything we do in St. Kitts, we are mirroring it on the Nevis end, or vice versa.
Right. All right, I get you.
Yes, so we have our school drive coming up in Nevis, and hopefully it would be, not hopefully, I anticipate the excitement. It would be just as even more exciting than what has been going on in St. Kitts. So that's it for our school drive, our fire prevention school drive. We have immediately upcoming our fitness challenge. And the fitness challenge is it's a challenge between stations, and I dare say we are putting it out there to the public, where you can come with a team and challenge a station, man, if you're that good, we might just gotta come together as a fire department. Come on, it's a brotherhood, eh? It's a brotherhood, and we have the right to do that.
You're looking support.
Yeah. I mean, where I might be able to make the team in Sandy Point and Taba, I don't think I can make the service team. You got a lot of young fit men, and you got to put your best foot forward when it comes to a challenge.
I realize that video you're sharing me, is that something recent or that was from last year?
That was a video not from the fire department. That's a video that they sent to us to show us what the events would be, what the challenge exactly entitles. So it's starting off a quick dash, running through some tires. You have to run a distance with a weighted item. Then, you have to use the dumbbell, do some push-ups, over the head push-ups, and the rolling of the tire for a certain distance, and then roll it back. And well, not rolling, but the flipping of the tire, that is, instead of the rolling. And you have a crawl, you have something to pull. I assume it's a weighted item as well. And then coming up to the end of it, you see you have to do some squats with a next weight and some burpees like exercise before you finish. So each team that we have for the department is 8 persons, and we are competing. We compete as in 4 different segments. For four different units we would be competing as. We are the bigger stations being the Bastia station and RLB. Those have the most staff. I think both stations may have over 30 staff. So Bastia station would be competing as one unit, and red is the color for Bastia. RLB on their own, green is the color for RLB. So if you're supporting your officers, the officers of Bastia station, you come out in your red. If you're supporting RLB, you come out in your green. Now Nevis is orange. So the divisions would come down if you're coming to support the Nevis division, and that is the Newcastle and Charleston station would be combined. You come out in your orange to support. And I am in charge of the outstation, Sandy Point and Taba. So I had to leave the best for last because I anticipate that we would win, eh? I anticipate that we would win. I mean,
I wonder why.
The chairs them beside me are empty, so nobody here to represent Nevis, nobody is here to represent Bastia or RLB. So it's just my anticipation that, if any of these empty chairs would tell me otherwise, then but I anticipate a win for the outstation. So you come out in your blue in support of the outstations, the rural stations, Sandy Point and Tabernacle.
You're making the most of this moment, are you?
Yeah, man. So it's a highly anticipated event. We would be out there in our numbers, food and drink on sale. We would have musical entertainment. I know Exclusive Entertainment have agreed to drop the system for us. I don't know exactly who would DJ or how much persons we would have, but the music would be there. Food and drinks on sale. So come out with your friends, come out with your families, and support us as a fire department.
Date. What's the date for this?
Oh, the date is Saturday. This coming Saturday at the NCI grounds. That is Flow Grounds as we normally know it as. Going up Wellington Road.
Right.
Yes.
That's on the opposite side of the power station?
Yes, right opposite the power station. That's it's now owned by NCI. So it's the NCI grounds, and that's where we would be on this Saturday coming from 1 p.m. So please, I'm appealing to you to
Admission?
come out.
Is there admission?
Oh, no admission at all.
Okay.
Free. You just come, and the money that you would have spent on the admission, that's a little extra money to buy a drink with.
Oh, so drinks and food will be
Drinks
on
and
sale.
sale, and food and sale, yes.
Okay.
And you are welcome to compete against us if you have a team of 8, including 1 female. Well, it must include 1 female. If you feel you could put on more than 1, it's up to you. But come out and have fun with us as a fire department.
How would you describe this event? Is it a community bonding event? How would you describe it?
Well, that is what we are hoping to do. For our 25th anniversary, we realized that the interaction with the community per se was being lost. And we are trying to put on as much events as possible where you involve the community and to try to build a bond. And doing that, we are hoping to revive our volunteer program as well, where we would have persons come to the station, they go through a significant amount of training, and we outfit them with fire suits. And so when they are fire certain areas and we wish to get help, sometimes we just call them and, these persons respond. The most effective volunteer system I've seen would have been that one in Nevis, where Nevis doesn't have a backup station and the shift were normally short. So you could always call, and once you send a call out to them volunteers, you see, you feel good, you see them boys coming. You don't have to worry about anything on the Nevis end at all.
You've been there. Are those individuals you have been interacting with in terms of providing training for them, so you know that they are well equipped, or they just have been around and they know what to do now after being around for so long?
Well, I was a volunteer as well. And what was happening is that you have days where persons are around the station, and firefighting is mostly a on-the-job training. You spend the day with us, and we've had that going on where we do something you call in the life of a firefighter. And normally we try to do that around the peak of the fire season. We have certain persons come in and they respond to all of the calls with us. I mean, you do not push them forward per se, but you allow them to to run and get a tool for you, or give them a chance to set up the hydrant to replenish the truck. And those things that we do, to build community involvement, build camaraderie with persons. And yes, to us in the department, it has been working.
Okay.
But training, back to answer the question at hand, in terms of training, we had scheduled training days for our volunteer officers. But the volunteer program, it is very small right now. I know we have one regular volunteer right now in Sandy Point.
Right.
I think there are about 2 in the Tabernacle area. Nevis have maybe about 5 still, but that's nothing compared to what was. And I actually don't know if there's any on the Bastia end. But, it's something we are looking to revive, and we don't want to just take persons and put them out there without any kind of training.
Exactly.
That is why we are hoping to get the program back up and running, so that they can be effective in assisting us.
Right, because you don't want worst case scenario, a volunteer do something and then it's in the tabloids, and then questions started to run amok now, and you go, you hear, well, who let this man come in? Who in charge? And how they allow this? And I know they need help, but blah, 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 blah. The list goes on.
The volunteer program is something that is covered under our Fire Act. The volunteers, while working actively, is actually ensured they are covered under our Fire Act. Once we call them out, yes, they are.
So it's the logistics and everything behind is in place.
Yes.
Is there age range for volunteers?
Well, no. Once you're fit and able, we allow you to volunteer. And I've worked in Sandy Point I've been in Sandy Point as a volunteer in my earlier years, where, you may have to rely on a volunteer to come in and actually drive the tender for a shift, to make a third person. That is how short the shifts were back in the days. But it's not as bad now. The fire department has been looked after over the last couple of years, by the government through a little push from our former chief Ogaro, which Mr. Williams, our now Chief Rommel Williams, has not eased upon at all. He has kept on building relationship with the governments that we have had, and I'm seeing progress in the fire department.
Good. Talk about progress. Let's touch a bit on the proceeds for the challenge in terms of what you receive from the purchase of food and drinks. What are the plans? Is that for like a local charity? I mean, how you plan to use the proceeds?
Well, what we are trying to do, we have a number of events coming up throughout the years, and the proceeds, just like the proceeds from our breakfast, which I would like to now to say again, thanks to all of the persons who would have donated to these breakfasts that we had. One in St. Kitts on the 15th, and the one in Nevis on the 22nd. So the proceeds, any profit that we gain from these events, are put forward to offset the cost of other events that we may have.
Okay.
Like next month is our our firefighters actual challenge, where we have our week of activities. That's where we would have normally gotten. We would have done a number of things on the different islands: cricket, football, have gala, have the same. One of the main highlight of that is the fire drill that we normally put on. We would have lost the Bay Road for some years back, but I'm hearing good things. Hopefully we'll be right back there on the Bay Road in front of Rams this year. Fingers crossed for that still.
Yeah, that's a very vital location.
Yes, on a Friday afternoon. And this year, because it is our 25th anniversary, some of our neighboring islands are hoping to come and celebrate with us.
Nice.
And also compete. So we, according to how much of them coming, we may not actually have the time to put on our station against station, but it would be St. Kitts against the rest. And I'm hoping for the general public to come out. I mean, whenever that event comes off, you come out and support your country. You could come in your little station color still, you wear your blue still, to represent the outstation. But, you come out in your national colors and represent your country.
You're not easy, my friend.
As we get closer and closer to that, I would be able to update you fully on, what and how the event would go. But, yes, we are having that week of activity still. That would be a packed week. However, our annual activities continue throughout.
Let's go back a bit to the fitness fair, right? From listening to you, it sounds very strenuous.
It would be.
Right? Any provision in place for, medic?
Well, the fire department has its own medic.
Okay.
But and we have persons and the who's a part of the Red Cross Society as well.
Okay.
But I would like to think that the Red Cross may have been reached out to. I'm not sure, I cannot confirm, but I would like to believe so. But we do have our own medics.
Right.
And where we do not have an ambulance per se, we have a number of vehicles that would be on hand. But we are fire officers.
And you guys are worried about,
fire officers.
You're inviting the public to take part in this thing. So I'm making sure you're not only looking out for yourself, but you're looking out for the public. Because a man might be interested in taking part and look, he start to feel lightheaded and dizzy and
along with the medics that we had in the department as well, we have about 10 of our recruits who would have just recently completed their EMT training, successfully completed.
Nice.
So, congratulations to them. And before I forget, I realized the time by this half an hour run fast this morning, man. And they are watching the time and it's running. We were supposed to have that cleanup in Sandy Point, which did not come off again. Apologies to any of the persons that would have were looking towards it. I tried to send messages to everybody that I know would have been a part of. But even though the clearing of that road to the bay was not completed, I must give thanks to Mrs. Sasha Warner Leader, the principal of the Sandy Point Primary School. She and the students and teachers of the school, they did their part by going down to the area, and they collected a number of bags of plastic bottles. So the cleanup started in a sense, yes, but the actual clearing where we would have gotten in the backhoe and the chainsaws, but the backhoe was not available on that day. We are hoping to get it done still. But the reason why I brought that up, yes, the school did their part, and I cannot say enough thanks to our local supermarkets in Sandy Point. The Bees supermarket, that's Ben Jacks, Mr. Sinclair Warner, Dollar Stretcher, and Mr. Caris, Lord Ziley, I don't remember what your actual name is, but Caris, Ziley, Ianke Superette,
Ziley,
you know, those persons would have contributed foodstuff for us where we were to prepare them, because we have our good cooks in Sandy Point in the person of Miss Loretta Hodge and Miss Shavana Roberts. You know, they gave us stuff, they gave donations to us, and we would have bought some of this stuff. And the stuff were to be prepared on the day, because it was scheduled to be like a 6 o'clock till after midday work. We are still hoping to get that done. Nonetheless, thank you to these supermarkets owners in Sandy Point who would have given when we reached out to them. So that's your question.
We have 8 minutes. So with your permission, I want to shift gears a bit and bounce to the wellness fair that will be happening tomorrow.
The wellness fair was put off from tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry about that. The date for the wellness fair, I think it's the 10th or the 9th. The 9th, I think it is.
All right. So we'll come back and talk about that then.
Yes, so that is just for that's for the Bastia end. It should be the 9th of this month. For the Sandy Point end, I think it's scheduled for the 28th of the month. So we have those wellness fairs scheduled. And again, this wellness fair for Bastia should be the first, and it's, as I say, it should be on the 9th of the month. It would take place at the Bastia Fire Station, and that's the yard of the Bastia Fire Station. We should erect some tents, and we would use that's down by the admin side. We would hoping to use a part of the police training school as well for interactive sessions where we would have to present to persons. But we are hoping to do glucose testing, blood pressure testing, prostate screening, pap smear for some of the ladies, EKG, that's the testing of the heart, and the BMI, which is the body mass index. That's to show if you are overweight or not. So those are some of the testings we are hoping to get done, along with HIV testing. And
stick up in the phone ringing. All right. I apologize. We lost that call. You can continue.
All right. Sorry, caller, but if you wish, you can call back. Yes, you can interrupt me at any point in time.
They're back.
Okay.
Good morning. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, GQ, and good morning, Timothy, no? Timothy.
No, good morning. This is Carindale this morning.
Okay, well, you're always intelligent, eh? I want to ask you a few questions. Did the people down Sandy Point with the cleaning? Because it seems like they got a problem down there with nastiness, you know. They turn out the young people. Because these are the people we got to call on to get this country back how it used to be in the early 80s. The country is dirty. And I understand from some officials who deal with the environment told me that you all have something to do now with the Victoria Square? You heard anything about that?
Yes, we do.
Mr. Body was telling me about it. Well, why you all don't come in? I done there killing myself free. Walking and looking out for their free. In with tourist belt. I used to once get a little change from Timothy Harris. God bless that young man. Great guy. And the vagabonds them come from nowhere. I want to let them know, you know, Jam young man is born here. And if he's fighting to make it, he's going to make it, you know. Because I see what's going on around us now since this free movement. And I stop letting start with that with people, you know. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be a lot of, you know, boom, boom, you know. It will be a lot of boom, boom. So, Timothy, I'm just asking you to help out the situation. Because right around Bastille, we have a problem. You live in Sandy Point? You stationed at Sandy Point?
Yes, I am.
I want you to go and take a look at the primary school down there where that big tree is over the deck here. It's a problem. Every Sunday I stay in the penthouse cooking and hearing a lady. Same chest, how are you? I don't know why. I mean, you know, I is the face I will talk for you in this country because I'm afraid none of them. Please to rally your troops. If you cannot get the help from the enforcement in the fire department, try and get on to Mr. Darcy, the young man from Monkey Hill, and get some inmates and go down there and let these youngsters go to school. Do something. We don't want to limb break down there and kill nobody down there. Like what happened on the basketball court. Please, I'm counting on you. And I want you to come to the circus and see me because we got a dialogue. This is the way we got to go to get Sinkers clean. I always hear you in the ear. And the way to me, how I look at you, is no man like you we want around in this organization. Too much worthlessness too much worthless people in position. GQ, have a good morning.
You too, Jam Dong.
All right, Jam Dong, thanks for your input. We have been looking at the area we are looking at is down the same school road where you're talking about the tree over the deck here. But that tree is being looked at by the education ministry, and I think planning was actually getting a part of into that as well, because it's a very, very huge tree and it's no easy task to get it down. But moving back to what we were saying, in terms of having the young men them in Sandy Point, the Sandy Point NEMA district coordinator, Mr. Trey Douglas, would have contacted some persons, and I can't say who all from Sandy Point he would have contacted, but note I said the event did not come off, so I don't know who would have showed up. And I realized that I missed one of my very, very big partners in the cleanup and the health drive. It is in the person of Miss Cassandra Bedford. She is the Community Development Officer for District 5 Sandy Point. Mm-hmm. And she and her ministry have been very much in tune with what we are doing throughout the years. Mm-hmm. Throughout this year. Mm-hmm. So I would like to say thank you to the Community Development Ministry and to Miss Bedford for helping us out with everything. Mr. Shadi Garnett also on the Tabernacle end. Boy, he don't give you a chance. And I like that about him. You know, I think Chantel is for Bastille. She works very closely with Mr. Martin. We have a call?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Mr. Martin.
Hi, good morning, caller. Go ahead, but this is Mr. Hodge.
Mr. Hodge, I said something the other day, right? And I was just, this is my opinion. The Seventh-day Adventist school in town, the primary school.
Yes.
He had a fire outside and the smoke was blowing over in the schoolyard. But what I'm thinking that you guys could probably do is teach it, the teachers them an evacuate plan. So whenever a fire got there, probably give them a proper evacuate plan so they could probably go down on the pasture and save the children lungs and stuff, because in the long run, children young, and in the long run, probably 10 years after, they develop a cancer in their lungs or something like that. So rather than have them running around the school with a fire outside, the smoke blowing in the school, probably you could teach them an evacuate plan to go down on the pasture. Their parents come and pick them up, line them up properly with the teachers, and teachers, when they reach down, make sure they got to come to everybody who in the class and whatever. I don't know. I'm just suggesting.
All right, caller. Thanks for your input. All of the schools in St. Kitts do have an evacuation plan, but pertaining to the fires in that area, it's according to where the wind is blowing. All of the schools are sent out. They are sent home. For the last fire, we had the 7-day school, the I think the daycare up the industrial site, and even the Pasha school, Newton school. All of those had to go because the smoke was blowing directly in the town area. So I do understand what you're saying. To take the children to that Pasha, and that they would not have worked. But, you have a plan, you have a secondary plan, and it's good for you looking out for the children, because the children are our future. But anytime there is a fire, once the smoke is affecting that school, all of the parents are called and school is done for the day.
Good morning, you're live.
Yeah, GQ, I'm down here again. GQ, Timothy, we don't want to hear the tree too high. The government have backup. I mean, these truck where you could get up to a certain part of the tree and cut it down piece. We don't want to hear that. These trucks is crown money, It's them same children, parents work hard in this country to bring these trucks. You understand? Kind of that a lot. The cable back, come on, they gotta help this situation around the island. It's so mash up with me. This system really mash up, I go on, yeah?
All right.
Have a good morning again.
All right, Jamdan. To respond to you, I was not saying that the tree is too high that we cannot think. I mentioned to GQ that the tree is very high. It's a very huge tree. But you would have heard me said in conversing with the staff at the daycare, they said that persons from planning and other ministries would have came to check, and they are looking into the matter. I don't know how difficult it is to get down that tree, because I know I saw them partially take down the one from the Challengers daycare, which is a tree almost the same size in Sandy Point. So it's not that it is too high or anything, but it's being looked into.
Let's take this next call. Good morning. You're live.
Morning to GQ and Hodge.
Hi, good morning, caller.
Going back a bit in relation to the volunteers. I don't know how it's been done now, but what I'm thinking that you can look at, because something that was there before, is to collaborate with the heavy duty equipment persons, the fishing industry as well. But when I was there, we had those on board.
Oh, Mr. Hendrickson, don't say when you are there. You haven't left as yet. You're still a part of. So yes, you have not left as yet. You're still a part of. And Mr. Hendrickson just volunteered himself to complete a 7 months training. He was one of the sole instructors for some of the subjects. So he was there every day for like 6 to 7 months with our recruits them. He is still a part of. Don't let him fool you at all. Thank you, Mr. Hendrickson, from the chief and staff of the fire department.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm saying that Saturday used to be set aside in my time for the volunteer training. And I had over, in Nevis alone, I had over 20-something volunteers. They had from the hospital, they had from TBC, they had from Four Seasons. And anytime there's a fire, and there was an MOU with these organizations, as long as there's a fire call, they go to them and they allow them off to help us deal with the fire. We had also the water department where we get a water truck come in because, the locations in Nevis and how they are.
Yes, I'm very much in tune with that.
And with the heavy duty equipment, we have backup personnel. Yeah, so we used to be well assisted. Yeah,
and that is true. What I know we have now, we have a very close collaboration with Skelec. Skelec has been partnering with us for a number of years, where we do not have a high-rise truck, or ladder truck as we call it, but if needed, we call Skelec and they come out as an emergency response. We use their buckets to get to some of these taller buildings for now. So, Mr. Hendrickson, things has been going on still, but yes, we welcome a more and closer relationship with some of these persons. We have another call, GQ?
No, I'm just making sure that Mr. Hendrickson, Foxy, is finished. You're good, sir?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, good. All right, that's going to be our last call for this morning. 6 minutes moving away from the hour of 10 o'clock. Thank you for your input.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you for your input, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for us this morning. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place, do it all over again. And with more updates on the health and wellness sphere.
But before we go, please remember to come out to the NCI grounds this Saturday, formerly known as the Flow Grounds. That is where the fire department would be. Come on out and support us. Come and have fun with us. Come and challenge us if you so feel to. So see you at NCI grounds on Saturday, 1 p.m.
This message brought to you by ZIZ and the Fire Department of St. Kitts and Nevis.